What's going on, y'all? It's the biggest, the baddest, bulletproof Blambo back with another video. Your one-stop shop for everything fighting and fitness. But hey, look, man, we already reacted to Dan Hooker's interview for his face-off against Arman Tsarukyan at UFC Qatar. Now we're gonna react to Arman Tsarukyan's interview and his face-off, his fight with Dan Hooker at UFC Qatar. Is Arman Tsarukyan confident? Does he think he's gonna win? We about to find out right now.
Pick 'em up, take 'em to the moon, to the fucking thing. I'm riding through New York, bang, finna go and shoot New Jersey up, bang. Tryna take my chain, they ain't going. We gon' come and blow New Jersey up, bang. You want something? Hurry up. Try to rob, bitch, we 30'd up. Just left volcanoes, bitch, I'm curried up. Cheese in my pockets, velvet up. Hey, I'm a gorilla.
With that being said, man, let's get into this interview. Arman Tsarukyan, how you feeling, brother? How you feeling? Confident or what? We trying to find out. That people want to know. What's the deal, man?
Dan Hooker, long time in the making. You guys have been going back and forth for years, so to finally have it just days away, how are you feeling ahead of Saturday night?
Feeling great, so excited. Yeah, finally, I'm fighting with Dan Hooker. This year is my first fight.
He said that he was one of the few men in this division that wanted to fight.
First things first, bro. This one thing I always got to give credit to Arman Tsarukyan. Bro be dressed down to the socks. Fly. Looking like Batman, bro. Look at this, bro. I mean, bro, you cannot make this up. Bro looks like Batman, bro. He's on a mission, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Boy looking sharp. And we be seeing him on Instagram with the, you know what I'm saying? He be on Instagram with the flyest outfits and all that, you know what I'm saying? He be looking fly. I'm gonna give him that. He be on Instagram with the supercars and the mansions and the pools and the oceans and all that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give Arman Tsarukyan his props. Bro be looking fly. He might as well just had a Lambo sitting right next to him as he doing the interview. That's the aura that you get with Arman Tsarukyan, bro. And the UFC, that's the thing with the UFC. You gotta have a guy like this, bro. You gotta have a guy that you gotta have the Ilya Taporius. You gotta have the Arman Tsarukyans. That's sort of like dark energy, but they fly though. They gonna have pull up with the shades on. They might have a dime piece by their side, even though Ilya Taporius lost his hyena. You know what I'm saying? He got caught up Miami joints, but you gotta give him his props right there. He is looking fly. I just had to say that.
Is it true? Is he one of the few that said yes to fighting me?
No, he is only one who said yes from deserver fighters, and I supposed to fight with Gage as well. He said no, but Hooker said yes.
Okay. What do you feel about Dan? Because you guys have gone back and forth over the few years, but even he
Come on, Gaethje.
up here, he was like, the closer
That fight would have been crazy. That fight would have
kind
been
of goes away. He saw you yesterday.
stupid.
You didn't feel like angry or anything. What exactly do you feel about Dan at this point?
I mean, I feel same. I'm just wanna win him and go for my goal. Fight for the title. Just one more fight, and he's a good fighter, a good striker, but I'm in a different level.
Yeah. Dana White said that this fight is for the #1 contender. I'm sure that you've been wanting to get that since the whole incident with the Islam fight.
Bro, could y'all imagine, bro? Could y'all imagine after all that hassle that Arman Tsarukyan put the UFC brass through? Could y'all imagine if Dan Hooker came out of nowhere and just swooped the title shot from him? Bro, that would go stupid. I ain't gonna lie. I would like to see that, bro. I would like to see Arman Tsarukyan's hopes and dreams get smashed to pieces after what you did, bro. You gave us all this hype. It was supposed to be the grudge match between you and Islam. You know what I'm saying? Wrestler versus wrestler. A lot of people feel like, oh, Arman Tsarukyan, after the first fight, you know what I'm saying? He has the best shot at beating Islam. And I feel the same way, bro. I feel the same way. I feel like Arman Tsarukyan has the best shot at beating Islam, bro. I'll be the first one to say it. But you did. You avoided him, bro. You avoided him. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You had your back injury, bro. But that's a championship fight, bro. I feel like Arman's one of those dudes, like, he comes from money, bro. He don't really care about that. Like, if he's not going in there healthy, he don't really have a reason to go in there. You feel what I'm saying? There's really no reason for him to go in there. So I get why. But just the fact, like, you know how he be doing all the memes on Twitter and Instagram and all that. You gotta show up for that fight, bro. That's the only reason why I'm saying, bro, it would be satisfying as hell. It would be satisfying for Dan Hooker to just pull up and snatch food off his plate, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Just leave that boy starving. Leave that boy starving, quivering, shaking, crying after what he pulled, bro. Leave him unconscious, bro. Fuck it. I ain't gonna lie.
Just one win, just get through this fight. You are fighting for a title next.
Yeah, for sure. I beat Dan Hooker and fighting for the title next.
There's some talk of Ilia Topuria maybe moving up to welterweight again without defending his lightweight belt.
No, he's not.
I want him to be the guy.
Ilia Topuria is not moving up to welterweight. Boy, 5'3".
Be a champion. Who is gonna be a champion? I'll fight. I'll take that fight.
Stop the cap, bro.
Please go ahead.
Hi, Arman.
Why do people try to pass that narrative like, bro, you're not going to chase, what, you going to chase Islam to 185, bro? You're 5 foot tall.
It will be a pleasure to see you in the octagon again.
What you talking about, bro?
It has been a while, right? The last time we saw you in the octagon was UFC 300. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of things that you've been working on in your game. Any interesting additions that we can see? Any wrinkles that you're particularly proud of?
I mean, I've been working so hard, and it was like almost 2 years from my last fight. Yeah, probably I learned something new, and I want to see how it's gonna look like on this fight. And I'm so excited to see my fight as well, like a fan, you know, because I was almost 27 years old, and now I'm 29, you know, and I feel like I'm a completely different fighter right now.
You actually mentioned that also, that you have changed your approach to training, that you probably take better care of yourself now, maybe overtrain less. Would you say that you feel like more of a mature fighter, more of a veteran fighter now?
I try not to overtrain, but you know, who likes his job, he does a lot, but sometimes our body is not able to do that. But yeah, I learned from my last pullout that I hurt myself, and now I did 100% my camp, and I'm healthy and ready. And
you better be 100% this time. You better be 100% this time, Arman. We ain't doing none of that this time, Arman. You only get one of those max, bro, in the top 15, bro. You in the top 15, especially, bro, you had a championship fight, bro. We talking about a championship fight, bro. Champ status, bro. Lightweight title, bro. Islam Makhachev, bro. The Dagestani army. You better be 100% this time, Arman. For real, though. Because that's what the people really want to know. Is you going to pull up? Is you going to pull up or pull out for this fight? For real, though. And I'm not trying to bag on him at all, bro. I'm really not. I'm not trying to harp on to the Islam Makhachev fallout between him and Arman Tsarukyan at all, bro. But it's like, bro, if you will pull out of a championship fight, bro, I'm pretty sure you'll pull out for anything, bro. And Arman Tsarukyan is a phenomenal fighter, bro. Really good wrestler, phenomenal grappler. Like I said, look at what he did with Islam Makhachev, bro. He's a dog. But we want to see the dog in the fight, bro. We want to see the dog in the fight. That's what I'm trying to see, bro. I'm trying to see is this dude, because, bro, people can say what they want about Dan Hooker, bro. I know everybody's counting out Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker is a dangerous fighter. He's a sniper, bro. Yeah, he can get into that little headhunting phase that he likes to get into where he just sees red and just starts throwing bombs. But, bro, by all means, and Arman Tsarukyan knows this, Dan Hooker is not going to be an easy fight, bro. He's going to bleed, bro. Arman Tsarukyan is going to bleed. For sure. They both are. For sure. Come on.
Yeah, my team, my coaches, they control myself, and they control me all camp, and today I feel way better than in January.
And since again the pause between your fights just kind of turned out to be so long, in hindsight, do you kind of regret a little bit that maybe you didn't accept, or the fight with Gamrot did not materialize in summer?
I wanted a fight for the title that moment because Islam left. I thought they're gonna give me a title.
Bro, what kind of question was that, bro? Who are these interview people, bro? He already fought Gamrot. Why would you even ask that question, bro? We don't want to see him fight Gamrot, bro. And Dan Hooker beat Gamrot. What do you mean? Is he down? Like, why? Yeah, I would have turned down that fight too, bro. And I already beat the dude. Wait, what am I talking about, bro? Did Tsarukyan beat Gamrot, or did Gamrot beat Tsarukyan? I might be wrong about that, bro. Dang, bro. My MMA math is off, bro. CTE kicking in right now. The CTE kicking in heavy right now. I just gotta see, bro. Okay, he lost that fight. So maybe he probably should have accepted that fight. Good question. My bad. I apologize. He did win that fight. Gamrot did win that fight.
You sharing this Georgian connection, him being from Georgia, you were born there. With this much trash talk happening between the two of you, do you sometimes feel awkward because of that?
No, it's just a media game.
Okay. Don't feel any pushback from the fans, from your friends in there?
I mean, of course, Georgian people wants to be him champion, and Armenian people wants to be me a champion. And in Georgia, a lot of Armenian people live there. My old relatives live there. Yeah, and maybe 10-15% from Georgian people, they want to see me a champion too.
Oh, I think a lot of them would love for you to become champion, actually.
Thank you.
No, I don't mean like they would cheer against Ilya, but they would definitely be very proud and support you either way. And just one last question, if I may. If first, hypothetically, let's just say that you go there on Saturday, you put on an amazing performance. Obviously, God willing, not sustain any injuries and stuff. And for example, if Ilya's next fight is still up in the air by that point, and it happens to be in January, would you be willing to step in and fight on such a short notice for the title?
Yeah, of course. When I beat Dan Hooker and not get any injured, of course I'm going to fight because
that's a tell, bro. Y'all heard what he said. He said if.
When I beat
he had to correct himself, but that's a tell, bro. That's a tell. I can tell you from her first-hand experience, bro. When you're not quite sure about a fight, you're not quite sure about how hectic it's gonna get in there with your opponent, bro. You're gonna slip up like that. You're gonna slip up, bro. Well, if I beat the guy, when I beat him, because of course I'm gonna win. Obviously, that goes without even saying. Yeah, but you didn't say that though, bud. You didn't say that though, pal. You didn't say that. He slipped up and he had to correct us. He nervous, bro. Hey, y'all. Hey, if y'all saw that Dan Hooker interview, and Dan Hooker, there was no tells, bro. And it's not even so much of like you're gonna win. It's just the fact of like I'm down for whatever. I'm gonna be here. Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm ready to bang. Ready to get in. You know what I'm saying? You just seeing his eyes right here, bro. You can kind of see it. Look at his eye. You can see right there in his eyes. He looks scared. He's scared. I'm just playing. But it definitely crossed his mind, though.
This is title fight, and as I know now, you cannot turn down the title fight. So
Like, he don't really know what to expect with Dan Hooker. We all know Psycho Dan. We all know Psycho Dan. He might pull. He got Dan Hooker been in the UFC a long time, bro. Dan Hooker definitely got some tricks up his sleeve, bro. That make you, you know what I'm saying? Make you kind of, like, I gotta be careful with this dude. He's throwing elbows, slice me open, something crazy gonna happen.
I would like to fight for the title.
Арман, приветствую. В свое время в Инстаграме завершилась история с коррекцией твоих часов. Вот сейчас у них тоже на руке висят. Можно сказать, какие самые любимые?
There was a video online that showed the collection of your watches. It became really popular, viral. I also see that you have a really great watch on right now. Can you tell us what is your favorite watch? I mean, if you look at Rolex, I like the regular Bruce Wayne. There was a watch Islam wore right before his fight. I don't know if you saw it.
Bro, and like the more I think about this fight, man, I've seen enough of this interview to get a good gauge of where his head is at, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? The more that I watch this fight, bro, or not watch this fight, the more that I watch these interviews and the more that I think of the fight coming up on Saturday between Arman and Dan Hooker at UFC Qatar, the more I'm reminded of what Islam Makhachev did to Dan Hooker. And it's kind of like that whole situation with Tom Aspinall having to fight Cyril Gane after what John Jones did to Cyril Gane. Arman is now in that same boat, bro. You got a tricky, I want to say up and comer in Dan Hooker because he's a veteran. But Dan Hooker's on the come up, bro. He's on a 3 or 4 fight win streak. Just beat Gamrot, a ranked fighter. Beat Jalen Turner while his arm was broken, broke him down, almost finished him in the 3rd round. Dan Hooker is on a tear right now, bro. He has momentum. I mean, he does, bro. Not that Arman Tsarukyan doesn't have momentum, but it's like, bro, when you think of Islam, in terms of like the lightweight division, when you think of Islam, you got to think of Arman Tsarukyan, bro, because they were supposed to fight. It didn't happen. So it's kind of like when Tony Ferguson was supposed to fight Khabib. That image of them facing off, the press conference, them, just the promotion of that fight, it's just going to make you think of that matchup over and over and over again until we finally get it, bro. So now it's like anybody that Islam fought, we're kind of expecting Arman Tsarukyan to tear through him in a similar fashion. I'm not saying he has to go out there and finish him in 1 round like Islam did, but I'm just saying, bro, he has to do it convincingly, bro, or else it's going to make us kind of look at Arman like, yo, bro, what have you been doing this whole time? What have you been doing the past 2 years? Because that's when Dan Hooker last fought Islam, right? It was like about 2 years ago. It was a while ago, bro. So, yeah, Dan Hooker's definitely grown since then. But it's like you can make the same argument for Cyril Gane versus John Jones. John Jones dismantled Cyril Gane 1 round, like 2 minutes. And Tom Aspinall was fighting for his life, bro. You know, he had the face paint going, and he was trying to find his range. Couldn't find it. Shot for a takedown. Couldn't take him dead. Nothing was working, bro. So he found a way out. You know? In my opinion, I think Tom Aspinall found a way out. You know? I would say it's about 50-50 in terms of people that believe that and people that don't. But then again, he did take a pretty severe eye poke. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not he took away, found a way out or not, the fight didn't finish. And he was struggling in there, bro. So it's gonna be interesting. This fight actually does mean a lot, bro. And you can count Dan Hooker out if you want to, bro. If I had to put my money on it, right? If I was a betting man, I'm putting my money on Arman Tsarukyan, of course, bro. Of course, he's more versatile. He can go more places. I think he outmatches Dan in the power, right? But there's absolutely no way that you could tell me that if a car crash happens, Arman Tsarukyan is 100% going to come out on the other side of that. There's just no way. Because Dan Hooker knows what that feels like. Dan Hooker knows what those, like, you know, those 5-round firefights feel like, bro. With the grappling, then you get back up and you bust it up, and you bust them back, and then back and forth, rock'em sock'em robots. Dan Hooker is all about that, bro. That's like his whole shtick. So I think if Dan Hooker can make it a dogfight, I don't want to see Dan Hooker come out and do this whole long, rangy kickboxing. Like, yeah, obviously come out, feel him out, bro. But after a while, you got to lay into someone like Arman, bro. You got to get him on the back foot. You let Arman start picking his feet up past his forehead and slamming you, like, it's not going to go the way I think. You would think, Dan Hooker, you got to put it on him, bro. Got to put it on him. From the get-go, late round 1, round 2, you got to start pushing forward, pressure, like kind of like how he fought Dustin Poirier in the beginning rounds. You know? But it's going to be an interesting fight. Nonetheless, I think if Arman's going to win, he's got to, you know, he's definitely got to use his grappling, a lot of clinching, put Dan Hooker up against the cage, use his size advantage, you know, use his grappling advantage. Dan Hooker's got to win. He's got to make it physical. He's got to make it a dogfight, you know. A lot of low kicks. Boot his leg off. But like I said, man, it should be an interesting fight. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Leave down in the comment section what fight you're looking forward to most on this card, and who you think's gonna win in the main event. As always, man. As always, y'all make sure y'all stay positive, stay motivated, stay inspired, baby. Let's get it.